Hello everybody, my very dear audio friends around the world. Hope you're good. Today I'm Paul, this is my studio, Warsaw, Poland, and we are starting totally different today, right? Because we are going to do something different. As you know, this channel is all about mixing, mastering, sound design, game audio, but also music production, and sometimes it's all about software and hardware. And this is the time for some synths again, because I promised you a vid on cheap analog bass synths. And this day has come. I have gathered 4 units. I chose them kind of carefully, I think, because these are my main candidates to become my very own cheap analog bass synthesizer. And let's bring in the contestants maybe. Arturia Minibrute 2 is the first one. Novation Bass Station 2, and both units were brought to me by Polish distributor Audiotech and Adrian. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Audiotech. No, I'm not taking a single penny from them, but I think it's just cool to mention that the guys really helped me out with all the stuff I want to review. Then comes MS-1 in blue version from Sound Trade and Rafał. Also, thank you guys for this. And last but not least comes Korg Monologue unboxed, because this is from a friend of mine, Michał. Michał, thank you, because the Polish distributor of Korg... okay, I just hope they see this video, whatever. Yeah, so these are our contestants. As you can see, there are 4 of them. All of them are analog, monophonic, reasonably small and reasonably cheap. Let's go. Of course, if you think this channel is a cool place, you can always subscribe somewhere here, support me somewhere here. You can also like this video and comment on it, so we start a new, hot, yet peaceful discussion on all these synths. And if you're a fan of mixing and mastering, don't worry, I'll be back with content especially for you very soon. There we go with our number 1, which is Arturia Minibrute. I got some patching cables because it's a semi-modular with a nice piece of ins and outs here. And remember, guys, this is my very first contact with each of these synthesizers. I would try to dissect them as quick as possible for you, and I will focus solely on bass features. I need a bass synth, so I am not going to try to get any lead key sounds whatsoever. Bass is my thing here. And remember, it's all very subjective. Only my opinions are presented. I switched it on, and this is what I get. So, this is oscillator mixer here, ADSR envelope and AD envelope, which is interesting. This is LFO with rate, LFO with rate. So this is my VCO number 1. I can fine-tune it. Can I block this fine-tuning? No, I can't. This is VCO 2 tuning. Okay, so oscillator 2 has got wave like sine, sawtooth and square. It's here, while oscillator 1 has got a mixer for sawtooth, square, triangle, and noise. This is the cutoff, this is the resonance mode, bypass, high pass, and notch. Frequency modulation 0, resonance modulation 0, attenuation 1 to cutoff. I don't know what this is, but I will turn it anti-clockwise. Yeah. Oh wow, it's already dirty. Pulse width modulation. Coming from probably LFO number 1. Exactly. Ultra saw amount. Frankly, I like it like this. Metal mod, whatever this is, metalizer. It goes for triangle, I think. Yes, kind of bass. It's dirty. My first feel is of this synth is that it's dirty, that it behaves very analog, and it's supposed to be really like aggressive and vintage, both in tone. Very hard to tune it precisely here. Yes. I really like the oscillators. They are very versatile and they've got terrific sound, frankly. And yes, this is a wow for me. Yes, also very aggressive tone on the filter. That's cool. So the filter sounds really also great. ADSR works as it should. Gate trigger AD envelope. So ADSR goes for filter and AD goes for amp, as I can see. What's this? Really cool sound. I have a feeling it's not really bottom heavy, but it's very aggressive, very sharp, and I think it's brute. So yeah, brutal sound. Let's see what happens if we try to use some patch cables. I believe I need balanced patch cables for this. These are unbalanced, and I'm using only the tip very carefully, otherwise they don't want to work. Okay, I could probably patch it all day long. Let's leave it here. Probably gives a lot of very weird and surprising results. Sequencer. There's a sequencer. Alright guys, that's it. Sequencer is cool. I mean, the arpeggiator is cool, while the sequencer, I cannot see the steps as, for example, separate keys here. I wish they were here so it would be easier to program it. The sound of it is not very bottom rich, but the machine itself is absolutely crazy. The only drawback I can see as a producer that needs to be repetitive and sometimes really consequent, and I need to get back to some settings and to some projects. No presets. This is full analog, meaning no digital memory is here. I cannot save the patch. I can take a snapshot, like a physical photo of the panel to save my patch. Well, next one. Bass Station 2. It's got a bass in its name. Is it the main contender to win today? Have no idea. Let's see what's under the hood. For now it's nothing, but... Okay, so I've got a sawtooth. Let's put things in order. These are my oscillators with a mixer. This is the filter. I've got envelope, amp envelope, modulation envelope, and both. Oh, with a switch. This is nice. Triggering multi-single auto glide. I have also a distortion here and oscillator filter modulation. I've got distortion as an effect, but I have filter analog, I suppose, overdrive here. Classic or acid filter 12 or 24. LP, BP, HP. Whoa, this filter is really versatile, I have to tell you. Modulation, envelope depth, LFO2 depth is here. LFO1 and LFO2 are here. Oscillator selection here. I can sync them too. Pulse width with modulation envelope or LFO2. What is LFO1 used for? Okay, pitch with LFO1 is here. Surely it's really packed up with features, but not everything is as straightforward as with Arturia, that's for sure. There's some deeper dive needed into this one, like understanding its full architecture, that's for sure. Anyway, this is my first oscillator. I will try to tweak it. So I cannot blend waveforms, I can simply choose a waveform here, and the second one, I suppose, is identical. Yes. This is cool. What if I add a sub? And this is what I call a sub. Also cool aggressive resonance. Yes, there is something really bassy to it, guys, and I'm kind of mesmerized. I mean, nothing wrong about Arturia, but here I'm spending my time with a bass machine, like for real. And great oscillators, though some deeper dive, as I said, is needed to understand the layout, the architecture of the synth. Oscillators are really fat. Filter sounds really great and is very versatile. I have filter overdrive. What about this distortion, actually? So overdrive is pre-filter, distortion is post-filter, definitely. So yeah, 2 LFOs, 2 envelopes, a lot of stuff actually on this very small 2 octaves machine. Arpeggiator. Yes, this is a bass station. Really convincing. The only drawback probably would be the learning curve. Next one. Yes, this is the sound of the sub. Yes. So guys, it's easy to tweak this because I know it from TAL virtual version, which is roughly the same. And it's always a pleasure, a joy to tweak this little fellow. Probably it's the most straightforward from all of them. It's the easiest to tweak. Everything is upfront, nothing's hidden. Don't have to think too much what's where. I don't have to dive deep. Of course, I know it a bit, so it's easier for me. But even if I didn't, the learning curve is none. This is the envelope, this is the VCF, VCA, this is the oscillator mixer, this is the VCO, noise, external audio, LFO, some modulation options, basic, really basic ones. That's it. Glide is here, volume is here. Pitch bender can also modulate VCO, VCF, and LFO. I've got glide, transpose, and a sequencer, of course. Yes, it's really great. Sounds very simple, but really it's a powerful thing. I think that Behringer did a good job simply recreating it. I will not make an in-depth test of this versus original or plugins. It's been made a lot of times on YouTube. But generally, I like it. I like what it does. I like how this particular unit sounds. Again, the only drawback I can see is that I cannot save any presets in a digital memory. I have to simply make snapshots for all this to recall it later on. Next one. Here we go again. The first thing that I noticed is that it has some kind of MIDI keys and it's smaller than I supposed. It looked bigger on pictures, but I had no idea it's got mini keys, kind of something between regular and mini keys, like they are smaller than regular keys, that's for sure. Also, it's E to E notes, not C to C. I wish I had 2 full octaves starting from C. This is what I'm used to be frank. Maybe personal preference, this is kind of untypical, but okay. I have presets here, the same thing as with Bass Station. I can choose presets. First one. Let's leave it here. Let's try to initialize. Yes. Mixer, VCO1 and VCO2. So nothing is here. The filter is open, no modulation. This is the thing, and I can make it sawtooth, triangle, and saw. I like this bottom end too, in this one. Yes, that would be my choice for oscillators. Unfortunately, there are only 2 of them, no separate noise, no separate sub-oscillator, which looks kind of limited when comparing to both MS-1 and Bass Station 2. This is a potential issue and drawback. But how the filter sounds. Envelope generation, yes, let's make it cutoff. Intensity. Yes. I'm not really used to small keys. I don't like keyboards that are too small. Anyway, the sound is pretty rough and pretty strong. It reminds me a lot of both base station and SH1, MS-1. This is cool. This sounds good, actually. Let's add a bit of drive. Well, I have just only one envelope generator that is attack and decay, I'm afraid. Yes, and the sustain is like, when I press the key, sustain is preserved, or just attack and release. Yes. Okay. And just only one LFO that can also modulate oscillator shape, cutoff, or pitch. Sounds really cool, but the modulation options, both modulation options and oscillators are kind of limited. Frankly, the filter is also limited. This is just a low pass with resonance, nothing else, which also looked better on my previous machines that are actually out there right now. Guys, what's else here to tweak? Of course, sequencer. Reminds me a bit Arturia in the character, but it's more bottom-oriented, I think. Also kind of aggressive because of this drive here, but also sounds, simply to me, a bit more bassy. And that was the last one, guys, and I'm ready to sum the things up for you. Okay, that's it. Can I make any ranking out of 4 of these? Yes, probably I can. For me, the winner would be Base Station 2. It's really versatile both for filter and oscillators. It's not maybe most intuitive, but it really sounds fat, sounds deep. And yes, this is a total bass machine. The second place would be ex aequo, I think, MS-1 and this little Monologue Korg. MS-1 for the tone, for the sound, which I really love, but unable to save and recall presets, while Korg, having same bassy character, a little bit less or even way less versatile on oscillators and filter, but can save presets. The fourth place would go to Minibrute by Arturia, and don't get me wrong, it's a great sounding synth and generally great synth. But I would not use it as a bass synth, if you ask me. Also cannot save and recall any presets. So I will call Audiotech again and I will ask them what would be the price for me for this little Novation base station. That's it for today, guys. I hope you liked it. I hope to discuss things with you down below. And I hope to see you very, very soon. Bye.